Genesis chapter 22. And it came to pass after these things that then God did tempt Abram and said unto him, Abram, and he said, Behold, here I am. And he said, Take not thy son, thine only son Isaac, whom thou lovest, and get thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering upon one of the mountains which I will tell thee of. And Abram rose up early in the morning and sandaled his ass, and two of his young men with him, and Isaac his son, and cleaved the wood from the burnt offering, and rose up and went into the place of which God had told him. Then on the third day Abram lifted up his eyes, and saw the place afar off. And Abram said unto his young men, Abide you here with the ass, and I and the lad will go yonder and worship and come again to you. And Abram took the wood of the burnt offering, and laid it upon Isaac his son. And he took the fire in his hand and a knife, and they went both of them together. And Isaac speaking to Abram his father, and said, My father. And he said, Here I am, my son. And he said, Beyond the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for a burnt offering? And Abram said, My son, God will provide himself a lamb for a burnt offering. So they went both of them together. And they came to the place which God had told him of. And Abram built an altar there, and they laid the wood in order, and bound Isaac his son, and laid him on the altar upon the wood. And Abram stretched forth his hand, and took the knife to slay his son. And the angel of the Lord called to him out of heaven, and said, Abram, Abram. And he said, Here I am. And he said, Lay not thine hand upon the lad, neither do thou anything bad to him. For now I know that thou fearest God, seeing thou hast not withheld thy son, thine only son, from me. And Abram lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, him a ram caught in a thicket by his horns. And Abram went and took the ram, and offered him for the burnt offering in the stead of his son. And Abram called the name of that place Jehovah Jireh, as it is said to this day, In the mount of the Lord it shall be seen. And the angel of the Lord called into Abram out of heaven the second time, and said, By myself have I sworn, said the Lord, for because thou hast done this thing, and hast not withdrawn thy son, thine only son, that in blessing I will bless thee, and in multiplying I will multiply thy seed as the stars of heaven, and as the sand which is upon the seashore. And thy seed shall possess the gate of his enemies, and in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed, because thou hast obeyed my voice. So Abraham returned into his young men, and they rose up and went together to Beersheba, and Abraham dwelt at Beersheba. And it came to pass after these things that it was told Abraham, saying, Beyond Micah she hath also born children unto thy brother Nahor, as is his firstborn, and Baz his brother, and Chemul the father of Aram, and Chest, and the Hasso, and the Pildash, and the Jindalath, and the Bethuel. Bethuel got Rebekah. This 8 Micah did bear to Nahor, Abraham's brother, and his concubine, whose name was Reumah. She bare also Teba, and Gaham, and Dahash, and Mahakah. That is the end of chapter 22. We see here God tries to see if Abraham will obey by sacrificing his son, his only beloved son, the one God had given him. And when God asked him to do so, Abraham does not even ask any question, he just obeys. But after going there, before sacrificing his son, God intervenes, and instead he gives him a ram to sacrifice. So this shows us that we should be trusting in God, and we should never question God. God knows our plan. He is the only one who has keys to our life, whether it will be successful or not. We should only be trusting in God, because with Him, all things will be okay at the current time. When we be tempted, there will be a lot of temptations, but with God, we'll overcome.